These top 12 Florida real estate markets are crashing fast, and the experts are telling people to stay away. But here's the thing, anytime I hear something like this in the news, I get skeptical. Don't get me wrong, these 12 cities are getting hammered, home sales are tanking, and the market's taken some serious hits. But the real question is, what's actually driving these declines? I'm gonna break down what's happening, which cities are in trouble, and why this might be the opportunity you've been waiting for. Let's jump in. During the pandemic, people flocked to Florida because the rest of the country locked down, and people liked the idea of living free. But all that demand drove up prices and wiped out inventory. Now, sales are dropping fast as buyers struggle to afford homes. And high insurance premiums are a big reason people are nervous of buying right now. The average cost for homeowners insurance in Florida is $8,770 a year. But keep in mind, that takes into account all those waterfront homes too. But just to be clear, I'm in a no flood zone, no evacuation zone, and my insurance is $2,200 a year. And don't forget, we just got hit with 2 major hurricanes, and that's made a lot of people think twice about buying in Florida, especially in a flood zone. But the biggest thing pushing buyers out of the market right now is mortgage interest rates. Mortgage rates are sitting about 8%, and at those rates, a $600,000 home is just out of reach for most people. Let me give you an example. At an 8% interest rate, the principal and interest payment only on a $600,000 house with 20% down would be $3,522. Now at a 4% interest rate, that same payment would drop to $2,292. That's a difference of $1,230 every single month. And that doesn't even include property taxes and insurance. It's easy to see how these higher rates are just pricing people out of buying a home. It's just not affordable for people anymore. Now let's take a look at the 12 Florida real estate markets that are getting hit hard. I'll break down the percentage drop in home sales and how much inventory has shot up in each one. Here we go. Number 1's Gainesville, home to the University of Florida, man. It's got that college town vibe. The decline in home sales is 12.5%. and the increase in inventory is 25%. That is a lot of new homes hitting the market. Number 2 is Palm Bay, Melbourne, Titusville. It's right by the Space Coast, and this area is all about rockets and the Kennedy Space Center. Decline in home sales, 12.7%, and the increase in inventory, 25%. Lakeland, Winter Haven's number 3. That is where my Detroit Tigers play their spring training baseball, and the decline in home sales there is 12.9%. and the increase in inventory is 23%. Number 4 is Tampa, and it's just right across the bay. So I bought in St. Pete, unfortunately, and I'm affected by this list as well. The decline in home sales is 13.2%, and the increase in inventory is 18%. Number 5, who knows where Disney is? It's Orlando. The decline in home sales is 13.5%, and increase in inventory is 20%. These guys are jamming out. Trying to shoot a video here. Number 6, West Palm Beach. So this is all about luxury homes, beaches, and that upscale lifestyle. Decline in home sales there, 13.8%. An increase in inventory, again, up to that 25%. Number 7 on the list, I'm pretty shocked by this one, but Miami, man. You got the beaches, the nightlife, the culture. It's Miami, man, you already know already. Decline in home sales there, 14%. Increase in inventory, 22%. Fort Lauderdale comes in at number 8. That's called the Venice of America with all its canals and fancy waterfront living. Decline in home sales there, 15%. Increase in inventory, 25%. Number 9 is the Naples Marco Island area. That's a Gulf Coast hotspot for luxury homes and stunning white sand beaches. Decline in home sales, 14.2%. Increase in inventory, 62%. That is incredible, man. Number 10 is the Northport, Bradenton, Sarasota area. That's just about 45 minutes south of me in St. Pete, and it's actually famous for the Ringling Museum in Sarasota. Think Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, right? Decline in home sales, 14.5%. Increase in inventory, 81%. Those homes just ain't selling. Number 11 is Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. This is a boater's dream with miles of canals and waterfront homes. Decline in home sales there, 14.8%. Increase in inventory, 103%. This is getting worse. At number 12 on the list, these numbers really shock me, and it's really pretty sad because I didn't know Florida was in this bad a shape. Punta Gorda. It's a laid-back waterfront town with historic charm and access to Charlotte Harbor. Decline in home sales 15.2%, which is the worst on this list, and the increase in inventory is a staggering 149%. This is by far the biggest impacted market out of this whole list, and every market in Florida. Even seasoned pros like Lori Stark, who's been in the mortgage business for 20 years, is seeing major shifts in the market. Here's what she had to say.
The market is going up, interest rates are going up, and then no one's able to buy. So the properties are just going to be sitting there because we don't have anyone able to qualify to purchase these homes. And when I started in 1999, I was doing mortgages at 10 and 11%. But the sales prices for the houses back then were 120, 130,000, right? But you can't do 8% on a $600,000 house. The market has to level out. You know, properties are appreciating way too fast here in Florida.
So here's some key trends across all these markets. Homes are just sitting on the market longer. As of October 2024, the median days on market for homes in Florida is sitting at 67 days. That's 23 days than this time last year, which just tells me properties are taking longer to sell. For comparison, the national average is 58 days. So the market is definitely cooling off here a bit in Florida, which is good. Also, investors from out of state continue to dominate this market, making it harder for local Floridians to compete because there's people with big money buying in Florida. Even though the news is trying to convince you that everybody's leaving Florida, the truth is the rest of the world knows it's real estate in paradise and they're buying as much as they can. Homeowners association fees are another big thing turning buyers off. The average HOA fee is $240 a month, but they can go as high as $1,200 a month. That's a lot of cash just to live in a neighborhood. So for buyers, here's the deal. This isn't a crash, it's a correction. While everybody else is panicking, you should be looking for deals. And for sellers, if you're hoping to get those 2022 prices, you need to drastically adjust your expectations. The days of multiple offers and $50,000 over asking on every house is gone. Price it right, trust the comps, and be prepared to adjust if needed. I always look at any market through the lens of a real estate investor because that's what I am. Real money isn't made when everyone's comfortable and things are easy. It's made when there's panic in the streets and people are too scared to buy. And right now, that's the market we're in. If you're serious about buying a house in Florida, the question you should be asking is, how can I take advantage of this? Now's your time to make your move. Remember, this is still real estate in paradise, and if you're gonna stay in your home for the next 5 to 10 years, you really can't go wrong. So here's what I would do if I was a buyer in this market. I'd have my realtor set me up on a search of homes that have been sitting on the market for 30 days or more. Because in today's market, people automatically assume something's wrong with a house if it's been sitting on the market for longer than 30 days. A couple of years ago, that might have been true, but not now. Remember, I told you the median days on market in Florida is 67 days. So if a home looks great but hasn't sold, chances are it was just overpriced. Those are the sellers that are probably starting to freak out, and chances are they're much more willing to negotiate. That's your chance to swoop in and snag it for less. This is a buyer's market, and if you're looking to buy, now's the time to take advantage. But make sure you buy on what you can afford right now, and if interest rates do drop in the future, you can always refinance and save big on your monthly payments. But here's the deal, don't sit around and wait for interest rates to drop. When that happens, the floodgates will open and buyers will be lined up again to buy houses. That's when you're gonna see multiple offers and prices shooting right back up. Act now and you can skip all that madness. Now, if I had to sell in this market, I'd interview 5 realtors and I'd pay close attention to the comps they bring me and for the price that they suggest I list the home for. And if they know their stuff, those prices should be pretty close. I would trust the data they give me and not the hype of 2022. And I'd be ready to adjust my asking price if needed to attract buyers. But before I list, I'd figure out the absolute lowest price I'd be willing to accept. And if offers started coming in below that number, I would not hesitate. I'd take it off the market right away. And honestly, if you're sitting on a mortgage with an interest rate below 3%, I'd think twice about selling. That low rate might be worth more than anything you gain by selling right now. I got more Florida deals for you right here. Want to know why these homeowners are walking away from these waterfront properties and how you can scoop up these lots at a discount? Click on the next video and I'll break it all down for you.